The School of Athens, the spirit of the Renaissance. On my first trip to Rome, I traveled south from France, taking the night train, weaving my way through Venice, Pisa, and Florence, the beating heart of the Renaissance. But each city was a masterpiece in itself, filled with domes, towers, and echoes of the past. But the ultimate destination, for me, was always Rome, the eternal city. After days of travel, we arrived with one goal: to see one of the most famous works of art in the world, the Sistine Chapel fresco. We walked across Rome, through a tunnel, past fountains, up the hill of Vatican City, conspicuously quiet around us, all to arrive at the Vatican's imposing doors and find a single piece of paper posted outside that read "closed." A later trip, many years later, brought success. Stepping inside Michelangelo's ceiling was breathtaking, a feat of human genius and divine inspiration. But as incredible as it was, I found myself drawn to another masterpiece just a few rooms away, Raphael's The School of Athens. While Michelangelo's work soars toward the heavens, Raphael's fresco speaks best to the spirit of the Renaissance, capturing its ideals of knowledge, perspective, and the rediscovery of the classical past. Painted between 1509 and 1511 for Pope Julius II's private apartments, the School of Athens is a tribute to the rebirth of classical wisdom. It is a visual manifesto of humanism, the idea that knowledge, reason, and artistic achievement are central to human potential. Unlike earlier medieval depictions of scholars as stiff, isolated figures, Raphael places them in conversation, deep in discussion, exchanging ideas, thinking together. The Renaissance wasn't just about rediscovering ancient texts, it was about bringing them to life. At the heart of the fresco stands Plato and Aristotle, engaged in a symbolic debate. Plato, pointing skyward, embodies the world of ideals and metaphysical truth, while Aristotle, gesturing to the earth, represents empirical observation and logic. This tension between divine inspiration and earthly reason defined the Renaissance and is reflected in the surrounding figures. Pythagoras scribbles his mathematical ratios, Euclid demonstrates geometric principles, and Diogenes lounges, ever the skeptic. Even Raphael himself sneaks into the scene, subtly nodding to his own place in the intellectual lineage. One of the most striking elements of the School of Athens is its flawless use of linear perspective. Unlike medieval art, which often flattened space and stacked figures hierarchically, Raphael creates a grand, believable interior. The fresco is framed by soaring Roman architecture, massive barrel vaults, and intricate coffered ceilings reminiscent of the Basilica of Maxentius. This architectural setting isn't just decoration, it reinforces the theme of classical revival. It places these thinkers in a space that mirrors the grandeur of Rome itself, underscoring the connection between ancient knowledge and Renaissance innovation. The vanishing point sits precisely where Plato and Aristotle stand, drawing the viewer's eyes directly to their intellectual exchange. Every figure, every column, every shadow is carefully arranged to lead the gaze inwards, immersing us in the discussion as if we could step into the painting itself. Beyond its technical brilliance, the School of Athens is steeped in Roman influence. The figures are draped in togas, their poses and expressions inspired by classical sculptures. The architecture with its grand arches and domes mirrors structures like the Pantheon. Even the concept of a gathering of intellectuals recalls the Roman tradition of public forums, where ideas were debated and knowledge was shared. This fusion of ancient and contemporary wasn't just artistic, It was philosophical. The Renaissance sought to bridge the past and the present, to take the wisdom of antiquity and apply it to a new age of discovery, science, and art. Raphael's fresco isn't just an image, it's a declaration of that vision. Standing before the School of Athens, you don't just see a fresco, you step into the Renaissance itself. It is a world where knowledge is shared, where architecture and mathematics shape understanding, where ancient wisdom informs modern thought. Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel may reach for the divine, but Raphael's masterpiece celebrates something just as profound, the human pursuit of understanding. That is why, for me, this fresco best represents the spirit of the Renaissance. It reminds us that learning is a collective journey, that ideas build upon one another, and that the past is never truly lost. It is rediscovered, reinterpreted, and made new again.